Hey guys, Tez here and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I will be doing a story time of the last 2 times that I have been to Zimbabwe, and I feel like after listening to these stories you'll probably agree with me in saying that Zimbabwe is rejecting me and is slowly becoming a colony. So before we get started, don't forget to grab your cup of tea to have with Tez and let's jump right in. So in 2019 I went to Zimbabwe to visit my family and to see my friends, and I went there for 2 weeks, and whilst I was there were protests going on. I'm not sure what about, but basically the internet was down for a week. I don't know if you guys remember when there was no internet. The government had never done that before, and to my knowledge they haven't done that since. So you couldn't use WhatsApp, Facebook, Insta, Twitter, anything like that. There was no internet access, and some people were downloading VPNs, but unless you already had a VPN before, you couldn't even get the internet to download the VPN. I didn't know people could, the government could do that, but yeah, they did that. So I spent a week in Zimbabwe stuck at home with no internet. The other thing is you couldn't meet with people because there were protests going on, and I remember we went to my uncle's house, and whilst we were there was tear gas. Like, that was my very first tear gas experience, and I remember this air just smelled really weird and my nose was itchy, eyes were watery, and we had to rush into the car to go home. And so yeah, that was a very not fun experience. So I think that was like half my time. I was stuck at home, couldn't do anything. Not that it's a bad thing being stuck at home, because I did go to see my family, but I still wanted to see my friends as well, and I think I only got to see one, maybe, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, that happened, which was not fun at all. So when I went to Zim, I went with my Zimbabwean passport because I have 2, and what I usually do is I would leave England with my British passport, enter Zim with my Zim passport, leave Zim with my Zim passport, and then enter England with my British passport. But then my passport expired while I was in Zim and I didn't notice, it didn't even cross my mind. So then what I then had to do was pay for the visa onto my British passport as I was leaving, so it was stamped as like a re-entry. I don't know what it did. Basically both days were on the same date because of what I'd done. So when I got to Manchester, it then became a problem because the guy was like, well, why is this stamped on that day? Where have you been these past like 12 days or something? And I tried to explain what had happened. He wasn't having it. So then they put me in like a holding room for like 40 minutes while they were trying to decide what to do with me, because they thought I was trying to sneak into the country or something. I was like, I have a job, check me on the register, like I'm a professional, blah 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 blah. But anyway, like, it was very scary. And then his manager came in later and he apologized, and then he was like, he completely understands what happened. I was like, so why has this guy been making me feel like a criminal? Like, really, I should complain, but you know, they're not going to do anything about it. So yeah, I just allowed it, went home, and then I lost something. I don't remember what I lost, but I'm very clumsy, and usually when I travel I'm one of those people that, like, stuff always happens. Like, I'll either lose something will get stolen, blah 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 blah. It's a mixture of both, really. Sometimes it's completely my fault and sometimes the powers that be just will it so. So when I tried to claim on my insurance, they said that because I'd entered Zimbabwe as a Zimbabwean citizen, I wasn't covered because my insurance covers me as a British citizen or something like that. So I was like, that doesn't make sense. Like, I'm still British just because I can be both. But they said that, or for me to be covered I would have had to enter the country with my British passport, but because I didn't do that initially I wasn't covered. So it was some rigmarole, but basically I couldn't get the item back because of the insurance and everything. Just a heads up, if you guys are ever like traveling and you have dual nationality and you have your insurance, it's probably better to stick with the British passport, because it'll make your life a lot easier should something like that happen in the future. That was something I learned the hard way, which was very annoying. So yeah, I couldn't. So that was the first time that something happened when I went to Zim by myself. The second time was very recent. So I went to Zim I don't know if you guys know, so I've been planning to go to Zim since 2020, kept moving my flight, cancelling, moving because of Miss Rona. And then I finally booked it in August when everything was sorted, so I rebooked it to December. And I was gonna go in December, so for Christmas and my birthday was gonna be great. And then Zimbabwe went back on the red list like literally 3 weeks before, so then I couldn't go, so I cancelled my flight and everything. And then 2 days after I should have flown, Zimbabwe, there was no red list anymore and I could have gone, so then I had to sort out going again, which was so annoying because then I had to sort out like the pre-departure test, which I think was like, so you need a pre-departure PCR test, and then you need to book for a day 2 test when you're back, and so I had to book that. And then I went, and then I also, something happened and I don't have my camera anymore, my vlogging camera, which I literally did an unboxing a few weeks ago. Don't really want to talk about it yet because it's still a sore subject, but when I feel a little bit better I will. So that's another thing, like my camera, had it for less than 2 months and now that's gone. And then when I was in Zim, everything was good, I had a great time. I'll probably release a vlog in a couple of weeks, it's just taken me a lot to edit it. And so on Wednesday, before I came back, because I was coming back on Thursday, the government was like, oh, from Friday at 5 AM you no longer need a day 2, you just need a lateral flow, and if that's negative you can move on with your life. But then because I was flying on the Thursday, I still had to do it because I couldn't leave. So technically when I left, those rules still applied, so I needed to fulfill them. So I did the PCR test. So to leave Zim you need a PCR test, so I paid for a PCR test, did that was negative, and then I came back to England on the Friday. And then when I got to Friday, no one cared about the passenger locator form that had taken me 15 minutes to fill out. It's a long document. No one cared about the PCR that I'd done, no one cared about where I was quarantining, no one cared. Basically you just did the automatic thing where you put your passport on the scanner thing, look at this camera, remove your mask, and then you're through. Literally no one cared. So okay, fair, just wasted money, but it's fine. So then I already had the day 2 test, which I'd already paid for, and then I was like, well, I may as well just take it because what else am I gonna do with it? And I felt a little bit meh, like I didn't think I had COVID because I'd done the PCR on the Wednesday and I was fine. So I was like, I'll just do it because I have it. So then I did it and it was positive. And typical. So then I was unwell. I don't know if I got it on the plane because it's quite, to go from negative to positive within 48 hours, I don't think the plane I would have caught it and then got sick straight away. I don't know. I don't think that works. I feel like I probably had it before, but then it's just that it was still developing, because I think, can you have it for up to 5 days or something before it shows up? So I don't know. I don't think I got it from the plane, but who knows. So then I was poorly, and because I had a temperature and because I have asthma, got a bit poorly, and I had to stay for the whole 10 days, you know, for the isolation period. That's what the test and trace people said, because you have a temperature and because you're traveling and all this, you can't do the days, is this 6 and 7 negative LFTs, you have to stay. So I was okay, fine, stayed the whole 10 days. But whilst I was on day like 9 or something, I think that was the Monday, that if you tested positive you only had to self-isolate for 5 days, but I'd already been stuck in the house at that point for like 9 days. So I just feel like things always happen and they're never in my favour when it comes to like travelling and going to Zim. Like, it's always such a heartache, which is why I think that it's slowly becoming a colony and it's rejecting me, but it's fine. I suppose it just is what it is. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I did have a fun time and I'm grateful that I got to go. It was quite last minute and the tickets were very expensive, so I do appreciate the fact that I was able to go, because I know a lot of people might have wanted to but might not have been able to. So I don't want to complain too much, but it's just that sometimes, you know, the weapons formed against you prosper low-key. Yeah, Miss Rona finally caught me after 2 years. My cousin thinks it's because I went to this place called Jam Tree. And to be honest, I can't argue with her because I went there a lot of times and it's just vibes there. I mean, it was fun, but then I don't know. They said that you needed your COVID passport before you could walk in. I think I was asked it the first time I went there. After that, no one asked me. And I'm not saying I have a distinct face with a mask that you would remember that it's the same person, and it's not like I was wearing the same clothes, so they just didn't care, so no one asked me. So yeah, I probably did get it from that place, and it was probably brewing. And I guess the silver lining is that I managed to get home and test positive in England. Not that I don't like Zim, but then if I tested positive there, then I wouldn't have been able to work from home. I would have had to take some days off unpaid, and that would have like ruined the whole like paying off my bills, blah 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 blah. That was my story time. Sorry if it sounds a bit moany. I didn't mean it to. I just wanted to share how like every time I go to Zim, it's never straightforward. It's never just, oh, book your flight, go, have the best time, come back. Like something always happens. But you know, some of us, I suppose, I don't know, I know there's people who say that, or like God gives you like tests that he knows you can handle, but like I want to be a soft babe. I want to be that person that things just happen for her, like not everyday struggle. Anyways guys, that was it for my story time. I'll be releasing my Zim vlog, like I said earlier, next week. I hope you enjoy it. Because I didn't have my camera, I feel like I wasn't, like, I lost the motivation to like vlog and film, but I still took a few bits and bobs with my phone, and I feel like it turned out okay. Let me know what you guys think when you do see it. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or video suggestions. Don't forget to tap that like button so the video reaches more people. Subscribe if you haven't already, because it really helps me out. And until next time, bye for now.